Man vs Machine is a game mode that I don't personally have a whole lot of experience in. When I sit down to get some hours in on TF2, I typically do it in casual mode. Now, that's not to say I have zero MvM experience. I do have a very respectable 20 completed tours, effectively making me a professional at the game mode. With the release of the ever-fabled MvM update on the horizon, it's only natural that the game mode is going to see a huge influx of new players. New players who don't yet understand the MvM meta, etiquette, and all the unwritten rules that come along with the game mode. You see, MvM is very different from regular TF2, both in terms of gameplay, but sadly, the mode also has a reputation of being full of toxic players with huge egos. I asked my Discord server, which you should join with the top link in the description by the way, about this toxicity phenomenon, and they came to the consensus that there's a 50-50 toxicity split in high-level MvM players. I don't personally subscribe to this idea, but it seems that a few bad apples have left a sour taste in the mouths of the common folk of TF2. So much so that getting kicked for not playing in accordance with the meta is a genuine fear according to my viewers. I want to put this to the test. I want to see just how easy it is to get yourself kicked from MvM. And with that goal in mind, I decided to seek out someone you could probably consider a figure of authority regarding this subject.
Hey, Big Weez. A question for you. Let's say, hypothetically, someone was trying to intentionally get kicked from MvM. What do you think the best strategy would be in that case?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe being a piece of shit virgin pyromane? Fuck you, gang.
Now, since Weezy also has zero clue what the optimal strategy would be, I guess it's up to me to run an experiment to find out, so that all the future MvM players can avoid getting kicked. To run this test, I got my hands on some Tour of Duty tickets. Since Man Up is a pay-to-play game mode, that gives players a real incentive to actually kick me, instead of just rolling with whatever shenanigans I conjure up. To make my silly antics more believable, I also asked a friend of mine if I could borrow her TF2 account, as she has never touched MvM in her life, meaning that I could pose as a Zero Tour fresh install, making it even more likely to get kicked. As for rules, anything goes. I'm allowed to AFK, grief, be toxic and obnoxious. The only limit is my imagination. I'll be playing exclusively 2 cities to keep things consistent. Time starts when I gain control of my selected class, and I am allowed to switch classes between waves if need be. With the stage now adequately set, I guess the only thing left for me to do is to man up. The first strategy that came to mind was obviously just being idle in spawn. But I didn't think that this alone was going to be enough to do the trick. So I decided to AFK in spawn specifically as the sniper. Things didn't start off too great. I wasn't getting any attention from my fellow gamers, but after the first round ended, everyone just left? So I soldiered on, not to be discouraged by a rough start. I re-queued, tried again, this time as medic, and again, nothing really happened for a long time.
I'm starting to get worried here. Maybe no one's gonna kick me for being AFK. I might have to be like more proactive.
Now in hindsight, I know that this is because in MvM, you can't initiate a vote kick during an active wave. But at this point, I didn't know this yet.
It's been 4 minutes, please.
So for the next few games, you're going to see a very confused past me wondering why he wasn't getting kicked. After sitting around for long enough, my team eventually did lose the wave, and I was vote kicked shortly after.
Someone voted no? What the 4 minutes 56. Okay, 4 minutes 56. That is the time to beat.
Having successfully set my first time, I decided to run the AFK strat once more to see if I could score myself a better time. This, sadly, wasn't the case. This time I got a time of 6:26. After having no luck getting kicked for being AFK, I decided that I would need to become, let's just say, a bit more visible. During my time playing MvM, it hasn't been uncommon for scout players to apologize preemptively if they missed any credits on any given round. So, why not take that to its logical extreme and simply collect no money whatsoever? Oh. Well, that complicates things a bit. While I was out here trying to get kicked, I was running into a bit of a problem. Sometimes players just wouldn't bother kicking me and would instead just leave the server entirely. Over the course of this experiment, this proved to be quite a roadblock. But since I had no real way of countering this, I just had to keep going and hoping for the best. After failing to secure a vote kick as the scout for a few attempts, I decided to try my hand at acting like a fresh installed battle medic. This did not go too well either. It did get me kicked after the round ended, landing me a time of 5:43, almost a minute slower than sitting idle in spawn.
5:43. Okay, 5:43 is insane. That's even worse than being AFK.
Needless to say, we can do a bit better. I tried a few more strats, and the most effective of these was just taunting on the front lines for an entire wave as pyro, netting me a time of 5:51. This was around the time that I learned that you can't start a vote kick during a wave. This realization left me with two options. I would either need to make rounds end more quickly, or alternatively, somehow find a way to get kicked before the round even began. First, I tried my hand at the former of the two, and the fastest way that I could think of to do this was to go pyro and air blast robots towards the end of the map. On my first attempt, I had a successful run. The round ended at 6 minutes and 54 seconds, which I was not satisfied with whatsoever. So I tried again, this time upgrading air blast push force instead of movement speed, which helped immensely. This time ending with a time of 4 minutes and 6 seconds. I did it. I'd managed to find a strategy that was more effective than just standing still in spawn. How epic. While this was a marginal improvement, I still was not satisfied. I mean, surely there had to be a better way of doing this. As I saw it, I was left with only one option. I had to somehow find a way to get kicked before the round started, which actually isn't as easy as one might think. For those of you who don't know, in TF2 there's a restriction in place that makes you unable to kick another player if you yourself haven't been on the server for at least 2 minutes yet. This meant that I would have to strike the perfect balance between sitting on the class select screen long enough for my teammate's kick cooldown to be lifted, but also be in the game for long enough for my team to develop a problem with me to even have a reason to kick me in the first place. But I had a plan, and this plan was foolproof. I loaded into Manhattan. I picked engineer, set up every single building at spawn, avoid getting kicked, finish the mission unscathed. Wait, what? Yeah, so, these guys were just cool with me being useless for an entire mission. They ended up worshipping me as the legendary Zero Tour NG, and at no point did anyone even attempt to call a vote kick on me, leading to my first completed mission. Not exactly ideal. Quite frankly, I was beginning to get fed up with the MvM community. I was promised toxicity, slurs in the chat, and vote kicks served on a silver platter, yet I was getting none of that. I had had enough. If the MvM players didn't see a reason to kick me, I sure as hell was going to give them one.
What? One tab left. I'm so sorry. Shale. I'm so sorry. I'm playing on an old account, and I'm trying to get intentionally kicked for a YouTube video. I'm trying to speedrun getting kicked in MvM. And current strat is just voice spam, and it is not working out. No, I can't stay here. I have to re-queue and do it again. I'm so sorry that you had to listen to that.
My first round of mic spamming didn't go too well. But surely this is a fluke, I thought. So I loaded up a new match and tried again.
What the fuck? Do they just not care?
Okay, what the actual fuck? I will not tolerate being disrespected like this. My teammates found my mic spam to be funny.
Yo, what do you mean you're okay, I'll log in, I'll play the game. What class do you want me to go?
And this soldier, this goddamn soldier player, decided to make a mockery of me by copying my incessant screaming with his beggar's bazooka taunt. I was done. I took a step back to gather my thoughts and review all of my games so far. At this point, I tried many different strategies, too many to cover in detail. I tried griefing, idling, being friendly, suboptimal playstyles, ignoring the F4 prompt, everything. I tried everything. But none of it was working.
This is a bad idea, man. This video is gonna get like 800 views, and I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot for doing this. You can already see it coming.
All of my previous runs had potential, but they all fell short of good times because of the vote kick block during waves. It seemed impossible to overcome. Every single team I joined would press F4, even if the lobby wasn't full yet, effectively putting me on a timer and killing any potential good runs. I was honestly considering throwing in the towel. But then, I had this run.
Please do it. Do it, Gloomwalker. I know you want to do it. You want to do it so bad. Yes! Perfect! Woo! Oh yeah, 124? Oh yeah, that's good. Holy shit! Oh, 124. Okay, that rocks. That's fucking insane.
124. This was a breakthrough. In retrospect, it seems so obvious. But at the time, I was focused on being the biggest nuisance possible to maximize my team's contempt towards me. Looking at all my previous games made me realize something. It made me realize that the key to getting kicked isn't just being annoying. The real key is to hinder my team's performance. But how could I get a team to kick me for sabotaging the game before we'd even played? Well, dear viewer, the answer is quite simple, really. All I would need to do is to communicate to the other players that I was going to be a useless addition to the team. I did this by picking Spy and doing my best to replicate the movement and behavior of a beginner tier 2 player. Default taunting at the other players, moving around using exclusively W, and attacking randomly after gaining eye contact with my teammates. Needless to say, this paid off. Despite this 3 times improvement over my first run, I still had one secret technique left. A technique that would take this experiment to the next level and guarantee me not just a good run, but a perfect run. I was going to break the 1 minute barrier.
My ultimate attack. My final strategy. Hello, chats. Can someone please call a vote kick on me? Holy shit! Holy shit! Thank you! Thank you! Yes! 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 38 seconds! Woo! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! 38 seconds.
Hey there, thanks for watching. Be sure to join the Discord server with the link in the description and the pinned comment. And while you're down there, maybe hit the subscribe button if you're feeling generous. Unlike most other YouTubers, I try my best not to ask for likes and subs in the beginning or in the middle of my videos. But if you did enjoy, I'd greatly appreciate it. But regardless, you watching the video until the end is more support than I could ever ask for. See you in the Discord server. Subscribe if you like Femboys.